Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Zymox, and I'm your chief show attendant. On behalf of the two hosts and the rest of the crew, welcome aboard Weird Wednesday Flight number 13, non-stop, from your current location to parts unknown. Our flight will be at about 2 hours, and we'll be flying at the speed of sound. At this time, make sure your seat backs and tray tables are in their full upright position, and that your seatbelt is currently fastened. Enjoy the ride.
What's up, everybody? How's it going? Welcome to Weird Wednesday by the seat of our pants. How's it going, Jamie?
By the seat of my pants.
Seat of my pants.
Is there any other way?
No, absolutely not. How's everybody in the chat room doing this evening? I was a little behind on getting the comments up. So I was looking for a picture.
Nope, Lori. I will check it as soon as this is finished. As we were in sound check when you sent it, so I didn't get to look, but thank you. I'm very curious.
So how are you guys doing? Everybody have a good Thanksgiving? We hadn't had a show since Thanksgiving, have we? Nope.
No. And we really weren't off because of Thanksgiving. It's because I was sick.
Yeah.
Had no voice. But since Thanksgiving was the next day, we just said it was for Thanksgiving. That was really my fault.
I started feeling sick too. There's 2 other people here in my house that are sick right now. And I'm like, I ain't getting that crap. So I started dosing up. Yeah, Zariana, it's pretty chilly here. I sent Jamie, I think last night, it was like 47 here. For Florida, that's wicked cold.
Christina's in Michigan and has 2 inches of snow already melting over there.
Wow.
Weird weather.
So I'm a snow virgin. I don't even know what snow is. I'm a Florida person. When they talk about snow here, it usually means cocaine.
I was just going to say, like Debbie's post earlier was the sand castle snowman on the beach. She's like, Merry Christmas.
Yeah. That's good. You're on the mend, Diane. Yeah. Being sick sucks. That's for sure. I had enough of that when I had the old coof, since you can't say the word.
Yeah.
COVID.
COVID.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, I wasn't planning on doing much of a Thanksgiving. But at the last minute, Yeah, I did it anyways. We were just gonna like go get dinner somewhere and just like call it a day. And well, that turned into cooking a turkey and stuffing and sweet potatoes and mashed potatoes and green beans and all the normal stuff. I guess that's normal. What do you guys eat for Thanksgiving? Is there a rule that says you have to eat turkey? My neighbor next door last year, I don't know what she made this year. Last year she made, it was like lasagna or something for Thanksgiving. I remember one year I caught a big, huge flounder. I was out flounder gigging and I caught this ginormous flounder and we had stuffed flounder for Thanksgiving.
A stuffed flounder. It's
Yeah.
good.
It was mighty tasty.
And you caught it. It makes it even better.
Yep. Back when I used to be a commercial fisherman. The good old days. I used to practically live in my boat. Well, this first weird little article, this is a picture I was looking for earlier. Not this picture, but another picture that I have that kind of goes along with this. And I've shown it before. Some of y'all might remember it. StreamYards, adding new things, making me confused. That's not hard to do. Light creature anomaly shows up in a photograph. You can see it on this guy's head and kind of this blue thing that's around him. And this, I don't know. I saw this article today, and it happened a while back. I'll read what it says. A chance photograph taken by a random attendee at a rave many years ago shows something profoundly unusual. There's a lot of unusual things that happen at raves, but this particular image was recently posted up on our forum by one of the members, GAC1023, who was keen to learn more about the image, having held on to it for many years. I've had this image for several years and have never really sought out answers from others, he wrote. I've Googled a million things, but never turned up anything. I'm sure it has a very logical explanation, just don't have enough experience with light oddities or camera tricks to know. Way back when I attended a super cool warehouse rave and was under the influence, if that matters. There's some great DJs and live music, and people were recording and taking pictures on their phones. I had someone I don't know come up to me and ask me if I knew what this was. I didn't know what to say, but asked for the photo. I held on to it for years because it looks cool. The image itself shows what looks like a neon blue snake wrapped around his body with an additional multi-legged creature sitting on top of his head. While it's quite possible that the whole thing is simply a photographic anomaly, it's certainly unusual. Exactly what conditions could give rise to such a specific optical effect? It remains unclear. And it is pretty weird where this thing that kind of looks like, that thing out of Alien or maybe resembling a scorpion or something. It's just weird light anomaly. And then this blue, weird, crazy blue thing. The blue thing, maybe, at raves, everybody has those like neon lights.
Motion, like
a motion blur thing. But I don't know. It is kind of weird looking for sure.
and at first, like if we didn't see the image and they just claimed it, kind of like Miley, I'd say, they were indulging a little bit, but since they were able to get a photo of it.
Yeah, the thing on his head does look pretty strange. And I've seen some weird light things, that aren't like a lens flare or something like that, So I don't know what this is, but I had a picture. This picture, I've shown it before. This picture was taken in the courtyard of the store that my mom and dad used to have in downtown St. Augustine. This was just a random girl that was in the courtyard, and her friend took a picture of her and she wasn't smoking or vaping or anything like that. And this article, this picture, reminds me of the one that I have, which is right here. It's not really a light anomaly. It's a smoke looking thing. But, she swears nobody was smoking, nobody was doing anything. It was perfectly clear. They didn't see it in real time, but this was on the picture in the camera. And it's kind of weird looking, It looks like this thing came flying through there with like multiple legs. Looks kind of reminds me of a centipede or something. But who knows what it is? Maybe it's just some weird ass light refraction or something. But
those little not the light bars, but like those little energies that look like swoofs.
Yeah.
Instead of an orb. What if it's like a big one of those?
Yeah.
Or close up to the camera to check it out.
Yeah.
And I have seen not as brilliant looking as the photograph, but I've seen things that look similar to that kind of energy where I'd catch like in an investigation somewhere like in the corner of the room.
Yeah.
Type thing where it looks not quite as blue, but it's kind of like the same, just not as pretty.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. I mean, you look at this picture, that other one reminded me of it. You look at that one, and then back at this thing that's on this dude's head, it kind of like has those legs kind of centipede looking. Who knows, maybe it's aliens. I'm not saying it's aliens, but maybe it's aliens. I don't know.
David mentioned, could it be his aura? And I was thinking that too. Could he be emitting some sort of aura that's being caught right now? Maybe it's stronger because he's on, around the energy and.
Yeah, could be. Who knows? Yeah, I mean, I've seen some weird, like my one orb picture with that bright blue orb. I mean, I saw that with my own eyes, and I saw it in the camera. And I've seen some weird stuff,
You've seen some things.
I've seen a few things.
You've seen some stuff.
I know a guy that's seen some crazy things. So he says. But anyways, I thought that was a little interesting. I'm always interested in those weird pictures. And you ought to like round up some of your pictures and come on here one night with some of them. We'll check them out. That goes for anybody. If y'all got like some weird pictures or something, there's no rules here. We make it up as we go. So yeah, if anybody's got some weird pictures and stuff, yeah, man, share them. We'll
or you can even come on.
Yeah, come on.
Talk about it with us. Sit down a spell.
Yeah. Kick your feet up. Stay a while.
Yeah. Well, we don't bite.
Not too hard. But yeah, that one picture that I had was it was in the courtyard of my mom and dad's store down on St. George Street in the old part, the walking part of downtown. And it's a friend of mine, after my mom got out, sold the shop and all, a friend of mine used to work down there. It was called St. Augustine Art Glass. And man, she had all kinds of things in there. But yeah, the courtyard and all was still in the back. And that's where that picture was taken. And she's the one that sent it to me. She's like, hey, you got to check this out.
And it's another place that's attached to your family.
Yeah, go figure. And yeah, I mean, when I was a kid, that was like one of my, might have been one of my first jobs. But yeah, I used to work in the courtyard. I used to make candles and do all kinds of stuff back there. And my dad had a shell shop in the very back, and all the bottles I used to dig up, he would always
Aw.
buy them from me for like dirt cheap and then sell them for high dollar. Oh man, me and my stepdad, we got in a big argument one day because I had this one crazy bottle that I found. It was like twisted looking, and it was, I don't know, it was probably 20
Like
inches.
white twisted glass.
Yeah.
Like a bottle. It looks, yeah.
And I told him, I said, I'll sell you all these, but I'm keeping this one. No, I want that one too. He's like bargaining with me, and I'm like, no, dude, I'm keeping this bottle. It's got to be worth something. I'm not going to sell it to you for $1.
Was it a blob?
What's that?
A blob top?
Yeah. And he ended up getting the thing, and he sold it for like $300. I was pissed.
Damn.
Yeah.
And here I was telling you the other day, oh, when you're out there, you can look for bottles too and stick the pole down and
Yep.
say, hey, I've been there, done that.
Yeah. Yeah. I used to do that all the time. We had a great spot, and yeah, I can't go there anymore.
Not here either. Oh,
Yeah.
when they would rip the streets up in San Francisco, though, because all the garbage and stuff underneath, you go out there. It's harder to now, but you can, look around when they hit it with the hoe and take out the chunks. You can find some bottles in the old Oakland bricks, the Hayward bricks.
Yeah. Did I find yeah, that was right. Did I find my keys?
Oh.
Yeah, I did find my keys.
Okay, you guys have to guess where you think you found them.
Yeah. I'll show you the picture here. I can't, I have a picture, and I'm going to show it to you. But yeah, guess where I found my keys? That's the thing.
Try to no.
I did find them.
If you were Rob and doing things quickly, where would you leave your keys?
Yeah. Yeah, it was fully it wasn't spirit related. It was fully Rob related.
Royal's close.
What did he say?
You're warm. You're warm. For 2 points. What would it be in that object?
Royal is very close. I would say Royal gets it with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found my keys. I'm going to go ahead and share the picture where I found it, because I did take a picture of it, and I looked everywhere. I looked to hell and back, and then I stopped, and I was like, "What was I doing earlier?" Well, I was eating grapes. And so there's my keys. There's my car key in the refrigerator and a bag of grapes. Yep, I admit it. I owned it.
Christina was close on top of the fridge.
Yep.
Well, I have some California stuff, but that is further down the line.
Yeah, I think it was California stuff that made me lose my keys in the bag of grapes.
And that's probably why you're, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get, 2 reasons.
Yep. I was just sitting there, and I'm like, I've looked, they gotta be here somewhere. They gotta be here somewhere. And I was like, wait a minute. I was eating grapes earlier. Ding, ding.
And the spirits are probably like, man, we get blamed all the time. This time it wasn't us.
Exactly.
Well, I have an article that Royal sent in, and I was unaware of this apparatus until then. I listened to the video of the man who created it, a Lithuanian man. It's a euthanasia coaster to humanely take the life of a human being. And the article I'm going to read doesn't mention that, it's got 24 seats so that it could be easily used. Like if you're just living too long, you don't want to live anymore, or population control, like he was naming a few different reasons. And I'm thinking, yeah, we don't need that coaster. But you've seen the videos where people are like on the roller coasters and they'll literally like, there'll be two people, they go up and then they'll actually fall asleep and then wake back up and scream, fall back asleep.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much that idea.
The slingshot.
And they had a video of a man, kind of, it was a creepy image of his head as this was going on. Not on that coaster, but in some test. So the euthanasia coaster, the purpose was to take the lives of the riders. So obviously you're only going to ride this once. I think it's a 95.5% chance that you will die.
No refunds.
No refunds. The designer even drew up the plans for the fatal theme park attraction in 2010, calling it a hypothetic death machine in the form of a roller coaster, engineered to humanely, with elegance and euphoria, take the life of a human being. His website describes him as an artist, designer, researcher, engineer, and founder of the Lithuanian Space Agency, who is also a PhD student in design interactions at the Royal College in Art of London. So he does have a sculpture like in his room of the model of this thing. According to Lad Bible, discussions of the coaster resurfaced when a TikTok user shared a video going over the ride's design. You can only ride this roller coaster once. It's capable of holding up to 24 passengers. Once they're all on board, there's a slow ascent to the top, which is a 510 feet in the air. That's just a bit smaller than the tallest building in America. Once they're at the top, it gives everyone the decision to stop and go back down to safety. After that, everyone has to manually press a button to start the ride. From there on out, those left riding the euthanasia coaster experience a drop at speed of roughly 223 miles per hour while going through several loops that get smaller and smaller in size. In the end, the designer himself explains that the speed and design of the roller coaster would cause riders to lose consciousness and then eventually pass away with lack of oxygen going to the brains. So he's saying you wouldn't actually, it's not like getting asphyxiated. It's more of that feeling when you're going out from the G-force. You just don't wake up from it. And your brain is dying more and more as you're twirling down, the smaller circles. The biomonitoring suit that passengers wear double checks if there's a need for the second round, which is extremely unlikely, as the result is guaranteed by sevenfold repetition. And this killer coaster isn't the only McBray design that has sprung from his brain. He also dreamt up the plan for an artificial asteroid made up entirely of human bodies called the Planet of the People. Its purpose? To see how well humans could fare in space without gravity. It doesn't appear that his euthanasia coaster will become a reality anytime soon. So what do y'all think? Humane, not humane? Good idea to have that out there.
Wonder how much tickets are.
I don't like how he mentioned population control.
Yeah, really. Hey, your turn to ride the coaster. Instead of putting you on a train, taking you to the gas chamber, they put you on a train to the roller coaster.
Hey, we're going to go to the amusement park. Let's go.
Hey, Want some cotton candy?
So thank you for that article, Royal. That was cool.
Yeah, it's pretty trippy. I don't know how I feel about that. It's kind of weird. But,
Now, what about death penalty? They ride the coaster instead of all the drugs and poisons
yeah, really.
or electric chair.
I don't know. Some people just deserve to be beaten to death.
That's true.
How's that for more morbidity? It's just my opinion.
It's crazy. People's brains come up with this stuff.
Yeah.
Let's build a roller coaster that'll actually kill you.
Yeah. Speaking of killing you, this isn't really another article. Well, it sort of is. Well, that's not it. That is not it. I just saw today, it's supposed to air tomorrow. The latest on Alec Baldwin. Have you heard that?
I didn't get to read it.
Well, it's supposed to air, I think, tomorrow night.
Oh, I saw an article about something about him sitting with someone and
yeah, he's gonna be. He did an interview finally. I saw a few clips from it today. It's supposed to air tomorrow night, but now he's saying he never pulled the trigger on the gun. He said, "I would never point a gun at someone and pull the trigger." Well, I mean, obviously he does if he's making this movie,
and obviously he did. Well, if he shot somebody, right?
He says he didn't pull the trigger. So now the attorneys are suggesting foul play on the set. And he's like, I don't know how a live round made it on the set. Well, earlier when this happened, this Hannah Gutierrez Reed, the armorer, who's had other issues, she was saying that she didn't hand him the gun. An assistant handed him the gun. She should be the one that hands him the gun. She should be the one that checks the gun. She should be the one that hands the gun to him. Nobody else should be touching the damn gun. I don't know.
And they were test shooting because they're on a firing range.
Yeah,
there were
earlier that they were out target practicing and stuff. So I don't know. He says he never pulled the trigger. And then you got what's his name?
That's two things. Then come on, the bullet gets in there and it's not supposed to, and he didn't pull the trigger.
Yeah. And then you got what the hell's his name? Man of Constant Sorrow guy. It was in that movie. Another actor, big actor. I'm having a brain fart. Can't think of his name. George Clooney. Bam! Just popped in. The wires connected. George Clooney said anytime he is handed a gun on a set, whether it's an armor or whoever gives him the gun, he always checks the gun himself. And he said, he was kind of giving Alec Baldwin shit, saying you should have checked the gun yourself, which he should have. So I don't know. He's in hot water. But yeah, he says, I mean, I heard him in that clip today. He said, I never pulled the trigger. So what is he saying? Somebody else shot her? Now they're talking about foul play. Anyways,
and he was having a problem with there was like a fight going on.
Yeah. Who knows? Who knows? But it's a real, what you call a shit show for those guys now.
That's horrible.
Yeah, it does suck. And he was obviously upset about it, or maybe he was just acting. He is an actor. But I mean, he legitimately, looked pretty upset. I mean, if you were all of a sudden you're like holding a gun and it goes off and you kill somebody, and you don't mean to, yeah, it's going to be pretty unnerving.
And a friend of yours.
Yeah. But I don't know. Yeah, now they're saying there could be foul play on the set. So that brings a whole nother thing into it. But that wasn't really my article. I just saw that at the last moment. And I figured, since we were talking about people dying.
Wait, it's your birthday today, Debbie? I've seen two people say happy birthday, and now I'm thinking, did I know that and forgot?
Yeah. Whose birthday is it?
Debbie.
Yes, ma'am. Well, happy birthday, Debbie.
Happy birthday, sis.
My actual article, I'm double dipping, is this one. UFO death riddle. Cop was hounded by government agents. This was off of, oh man, what was it off of? I don't know. I can't remember. What's that website I said I went to? I'm having a total brain fart.
I don't know. Like, I can't even function.
Yeah, me either. But it does say when British policeman Alan Godfrey encountered a UFO 41 years ago, it would change his life forever. We always talk about the men in black and this and that, and government secrets and government secrecy. And, you're told not to tell and you got to sign a disclosure form and all that. Well, around 5 a.m. on November 28th, 1980, Todmorden Constable Alan Godfrey had been nearing the end of his shift and had been investigating reports of cattle on the estate, where he witnessed a large diamond-shaped object hovering above the road just ahead of him. Estimating the unidentified craft to be approximately 20 feet high and 14 feet across, he attempted to radio for assistance, but found to his horror that his equipment was no longer functioning. Before he knew it, the object had disappeared, and he found himself 30 yards down the road, having experienced a period of around 25 minutes of missing time that he could not account for. It is what followed the encounter, however, that would cement Godfrey's place in the UFO history books. Around 6 months later, he was tasked with investigating the death of a missing man, Zygmunt Adamski, whose body had been found in a Todmorden coal yard. It wasn't long before the media had linked the man's death to Godfrey's UFO encounter, and the rest, as they say, is history. Godfrey quickly became a household name and has since spent several decades talking and writing about his experiences. During a recent interview, he recalled that the case had attracted the attention of senior officers and a mysterious individual who he believed was some sort of government agent. I was ordered under the National Official Secrets Act to not disclose anything to the media about Adamski or my own encounter. The stress of this whole thing ultimately ended his career with the police department. It wrecked me. It completely changed me, he said. I ended up drinking a bottle of whiskey every day. I was nearly an alcoholic. Nearly? If you're drinking a bottle of whiskey a day, you're pretty much there. It drove me to despair. To this day, he blames much of this on being silenced by the government. They've released all the UFO files from the MOD. However, they have never released mine, he said. So, yeah, dude, has a UFO experience. And typically, just like, you always hear some mysterious, perhaps government agent comes in and says, hey, don't talk about it. If you talk about it, we're going to kill your whole family. I mean, who knows what they told him, but they obviously made his life a living hell. So, I don't know. It makes you wonder how many people have seen UFOs or have had experiences and haven't talked about it out of fear.
A lot.
Yeah. I mean, there's the part of everybody's going to think I'm crazy. And then there's the part of maybe they're just scared because they were contacted by some man in black who told them, don't talk about it.
Or they freak them out by, sending helicopters over the house or something to be like, hush, hush. Popping down the chimney. Shh. And they just go back up.
I mean, it's, it's more, it's happening more and more and more, and when, like, sometimes when hundreds of people see something, you just, the government will play it off. Oh, it was we were experimenting with, weather balloons or blah, 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 who knows what. But, if you're one of those people that sees something, you know what you saw,
Definitely.
And, if you see a spacecraft of some sort of craft that is huge, the difference between that and a freaking balloon, But yeah, that whole missing time thing, I know some people have experienced that, and I sort of have myself, and I don't know how to explain it, but some people have disappeared, and then they find themselves, this guy 30 yards. Some people have found themselves like miles away or in a different state, and they're like, whoa, this is not my beautiful house. How did I get here?
This is not my beautiful wife.
Yeah.
I told you about my owl in that time. And then, I've had those couple nights on those walks where all of a sudden, like, time just, it was weird.
Yeah.
But you remember that.
Yep.
Well, let's see. Oh, here we go. 3D printers, do a lot. Now they're going to be 3D printing out your meat.
I just don't understand this one.
Neither do I. And so as we're moving into this, meta universe, AR, augmented reality world that they're wanting us to live in, turning us slowly into computers that need to be updated and everything else. I was saying the last thing that we need for it to be kind of Jetson-y would be, how they could just put the meat in something like little food packets and, food comes out. This is kind of along those lines in my head because it's artificial to me. Just BS, and I'm trying to get my stuff open. In Barcelona, as demand for plant-based alternatives to meat rises, Barcelona's mouth breathing again. Barcelona-based startup Novameet is using its 3D printing technology to manufacture vegetarian steaks that it hopes will reach the mass market next year. Novameet plans to sell its, and it says it in quotes, steaks directly to consumers and to businesses such as restaurants interested in producing plant-based meat. Business development manager told them on Tuesday.
Exactly. That's some Soylent Green.
The Spanish company, which developed its tech in 2018, was showing how its latest 3D printer produced food at Barcelona's Mobile World Congress. It didn't have the feeling of a traditional steak, but I was positively surprised because I did not expect that the texture would be so well achieved. After trying one of the steaks printed at the Novameet stand, the world's largest telecoms gathering, the company uses 3D technology to test recipes, including ingredients through capsules, because it's cheaper process than mass producing. See the little capsules, little stuff? Once a model is considered successful, it could be produced on a larger scale in bigger machines, not using 3D tech, manufacturing up to 500 kilograms of fake meat per hour, he added. Campos said the startup's aim has been to recreate the muscle fibers of animals' meat. Like people need the muscle fiber. But using 100% plant-based ingredients. I hate ugh. He forecasts the plant-based industry would keep growing at double-digit rates in the foreseeable future. The company also said it's producing the fake meat for environmental reasons. We seek to replace animal meat for something that is better for the planet. And so, I'm not a meat eater. I wouldn't eat that meat either.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I do eat meat,
They're
but
banning pork, in California.
really?
Uh-huh. Which, again, I don't want, what people eat is their thing, but for me, it makes me happy that animals aren't going to be crammed into
Yeah.
go through what they go through.
A lot of times, like people that hunt, go out and shoot a deer or something, they catch hell from a lot of people. But at the same time, there's the other side of it where, oh, you're shooting Bambi. But, I mean, if so many of those deer weren't taken, they would pose a problem of too many deer, So, I mean, I think there's a happy balance between there, somewhere.
Well, my thing with that is it's overbuilding and pushing the animals away. So it's like not their fault that there's too many. At least not out here in like some spots. But people like my mom, doesn't like hunting and all that, but she likes to get meat. She likes to get it from the grocery store.
Yeah.
Because it's different once it's, like that.
Yeah.
Even though it's a lot less humane to go through that process than, a hunter, how they do.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, well, this cow right here, if that hamburger you're about to eat was this cow's face, then would you want to, then it changes. Like that came from the grocery store.
Yeah. Yeah. There's like one of Darcy's friends is, she's fully against, hunting and killing animals and everything, but she eats chicken and hamburger and steak. I mean, I've been to her house and eaten steak. And I'm like, where do you think the steak comes from? The grocery store. You think they just like grow it in the back room there?
Yeah.
It's different when, some people see it all packaged nicely on a white styrofoam tray, all wrapped in nice clear plastic. And it's, it's not a bloody piece of meat.
It's all cleaned up. And
yeah. You're still eating a carcass of an animal,
And like hunting just to kill something and stick its head on the wall and be like, my balls are big because I got this, no. But if people are doing what they're doing and they're eating the same way they would go and eat at a grocery store, even though it's not for me.
Yeah.
If they're making use, then that's what you do. Something's going to die one way or the other. At the store, they're going to get it or they're going to kill it and eat it. But
yeah,
I don't know about this plantless meat. How many of you guys would want to try this?
I got one of my buddies, that plays guitar in my band. He always like band practice comes around and he always goes to Burger King and gets those Impossible burgers. And I'm like, dude, what are you eating? Do you know? And he eats like really good. And his intention is, I'm not eating meat, but I'm like, what are you eating? Do you know? I mean, at least if you're eating meat, you know what the hell it is. I mean, what are you eating? Because I admit it smells like a damn hamburger. It smells good.
Really?
It smells, I mean, Burger King has that charbroiled grill smell, you know, and it smells like a Whopper or something, but it's not meat. And yeah, I see them in the grocery store, and I've eaten veggie burgers before, you know, that are made.
Ooh, I like veggie burgers.
Yeah, but you know, made with black beans and this and that. But fake meat, it's like, you know, if you're a vegetarian, that's cool. If you're not a meat eater, that's cool. If you're not a meat eater, why would you want to eat fake meat?
And think about the additives in the crap.
Yeah. It's like, what are you eating? I don't know. And to have a 3D steak printed, I'm going to pass. I'm just.
More lab produced products they're giving us.
Yeah. It's like, what the hell is actually in that? You know, if I'm going to eat a steak, I'm going to eat a freaking steak. I don't know. I've got some deer meat in the freezer right now. But yeah, I mean, if I go out hunting or something, I don't kill an animal just to kill it. That's just senseless to me. You know, you see people that have, you know, big tigers or bear heads or whatever on the wall. You know, same with fishing. I mean, I fish, I catch fish, I eat every fish I catch. You know, if that's what I'm out there to do. I don't waste it, but you know, even sport fishing, you know, you see some people, you know, catch this big fish and they don't eat it. They just get it, you know, take it to the taxidermist and have it mounted on the wall. I don't get it, you know. Catch it. I get it. Catch it. Take a picture. Take a really good picture. Have it blown up. Put that on the wall.
Exactly. When I caught my biggest bass float tubing, and it was a fluke, 8.5 pound big mouth on light tackle in the back. And I was float tubing, and it was like a cool fight and everything. And I got up, weighed it, because I had one of those little hang weights. Didn't have a camera. We're like, where's the camera? Don't have the camera. So my ex, you know, he was a mounting type person. He's like, well, we could go get it taxidermy. I'm like, no, because I would just throw it back. We could take a picture. I'm like, I'm not going to kill it just because I don't have a camera. I will always have this memory.
Yeah.
Go back, little fish, so you can get bigger, and maybe I'll see you next year.
Yeah. You know, and I know several hunters, you know, that they go hunting religiously every year, you know, but when they do shoot a deer, it's not just like, it's not this macho, I just blew this fucking deer away, you know. I mean, they shoot it and then, you know, it's kind of emotional for them, you know, and they, you know, thank the animal and whatever, you know, spirits, whatever their thing is.
I can't do it,
you know.
but then I don't eat meat.
Yeah, I mean, you know, if majority of people, if you had to go, you know, slaughter a cow and chop it up, clean it, you probably wouldn't want to eat steak afterwards.
That's what made me really understand living on the farm, on the ranch, and walked into the warehouse one day on the wrong day.
Yeah.
Seen some stuffs, and yep, I'm done.
Yep. But yeah, it's like Freedom Bird says, always give thanks, you know.
Yes.
So speaking of animals, here's a weird one. I don't know that I would eat this one either. This is over in the land afar, over in China. Weird Chinese goose lays eggs with black yolks.
What?
And there was a video. This is a clip out of the video. I don't have the video, but yeah, I mean, it shows the guy cracking the eggs, and this is what comes out of them is black yolks.
Why? What'd they do to them? They genetically modified the goose?
No. Well, no, they say they didn't. The article says A bird with a particular penchant for laying eggs with black yolks has recently gone viral on social media. According to reports, a man identified as Zhu, who hails from China's Hangzhou city, recently generated a great deal of attention on Chinese social media when he posted up a series of photographs and video clips of his goose that has been laying eggs cracked open to reveal tar black egg yolks. Zhu maintains that the eggs came from a goose on his friend's farm, and that same bird has produced plenty of regular eggs before. When he cracked open the last batch, however, the egg yolks were a discerning black color, even though they were otherwise normal and did not smell as though anything was amiss. His postings received a variety of comments from other users suggesting that the goose may have been feeding on black mulberries, which are known to boost melanin production. Despite the fact that there are indeed mulberries growing on the farm, Zhu remains unconvinced. As these things stand, no definitive explanation for this phenomenon has been found. And like I say, if you go look on the video on it's that website that I can't remember the name of, jeez, is it in here? Good grief!
Did you tell me and I just don't remember?
It's the one I always go to. Jason always goes to. Undiscovered Mysteries. I forget what it's called. Anyway, there is a video on there. If you go on YouTube, just look up goose laying black eggs. You'll see the video. It's everywhere. And the guy is actually, cracking the eggs. And this is what comes out. I mean, they're tar black egg yolks. I wouldn't eat them. That's just not normal. Maybe there's nothing wrong with them.
What if they're the most delicious egg you've ever had? It tastes like chocolate truffles.
That's the thing, though, is you have to eat one to find out. And just black eggs are just not normal.
Hey, at least it also hasn't been, what's that, butte? Or what's the egg that you bury under the ground for like 100 years and then you take it up and it's a totally rotten egg, but it's a delicacy?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Is that butte or is that something else gross?
Yeah, the rotten duck eggs. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What if they,
I don't want to eat those either.
Yeah. Freedom says it seems toxic.
I've smelled those before. I've actually seen them and smelled them, and I couldn't get past. I couldn't get past the stank. I'm like, I'm not eating that because I'm about to throw up already just by smelling it. And yeah,
that's terrible.
Yeah, but black. Yeah, I mean they could taste delicious. Could be the new thing. Could be the goose that lays the black eggs instead of the golden eggs. This one lays tar eggs. They're not worth as much, but they taste great. I don't know. I don't know because I'm not going to eat one. Just lump it in the same thing with that fake meat. I'm just not going to eat it.
It just makes me think about, again, being on the ranch and like draining a tumor. I don't know. Like, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, nothing against anybody that's eating fake meat, I mean,
or
like
black eggs.
Or rotten duck eggs. Hey, everybody's got their thing. Yeah. But yeah, they said these eggs don't stink. Yeah, don't smell like farts. They don't smell like goose turds or anything. But something ain't right. I ain't eating that shit.
Like, what if there's something really wrong with the goose? I wonder if they're going to eat the goose.
I don't know. That's all them. Not my circus, not my monkeys, not my goose. I ain't eating them.
No.
Oh, yeah. But pretty weird because those are some black eggs. Yeah. Black Sabbath eggs, exactly. He said, I wouldn't eat those. They look nasty. Yep.
With this next one, here's California. Now, think about how silly before I start to read this is. Cash scattered across a Southern California freeway sent drivers into a frenzy. Now, currently in California, people are smash and grabbing, like Louis Vuitton, a lot of different stores in the San Francisco areas, Concord right here, Walnut Creek, around here, and it's becoming very, very normal. They're telling parents or women and children that they should stay safe inside while this is going on, which makes me think about other things. But these people who are smash and grabbing are getting away with it. They're not getting arrested. So when this armored car spills out the money, they had people on social media recording it, and people were like picking up what they could, this and that. 2 people got arrested for it. They're able to get 2 people catching them doing it and like getting them for, taking money that wasn't theirs or something. And it's just like, that's just how stupid backwards California is.
California.
You can actually break into a jewelry store with a hammer and clear it out.
And that's
no consequences. But a truck blows money, and yeah, it's not yours, but you pick it up.
Somebody's going to pick it up.
And you get arrested.
Oh, there's $10,000 woofing down the road. Don't nobody touch it.
So traffic came to a stop on a California Interstate 5 Friday morning after an armored car happened to spill cash across the freeway, just north of San Diego. Several drivers and passengers jumped out of their vehicles to grab what they could, but the police want it all back. The armored car was traveling north along the I-5 in Carlsbad about 9:15 a.m. when one of the doors unexpectedly swung open and bags of cash flew out. Cars parked on the shoulder and in the middle of the road as motorists and passengers raced to collect the bills, mostly ones and 20s littered across the ground. But the California Highway Patrol is warning those who seize the moment. The California Highway Patrol is warning those who seize the moment to turn the cash in. I highly suggest to anybody that picked up cash out here, it's not your cash, so turn it in immediately to the CHP in Vista. 2 people were arrested at the scene for allegedly collecting what they could, and others turned in what they had collected. Videos across social media show plenty of people scooping up handfuls of cash along the freeway. Martin told reporters that these videos captured faces and license plates during the event, and CHP are working with the FBI to identify those who may have not turned the money in. The armored car was transporting. Okay, anyway, yeah. So he made a boo-boo, and people got arrested for it. But they don't want to go after the people who are, pulling a gun down the street on a woman who was going to steal something off her porch. She approached him. He just pulled a gun on her the other day. Stealing from stores, it's okay.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. I mean, I've seen plenty of videos of, people just going in stores and just stealing shit and just walking out the door, and they're not supposed to do anything about it. Man, no, man, that's not cool.
And the police are saying the San Francisco theft department and everything, they're saying that a lot of the cops and stuff are scared to do stuff, that they need people to come out and enforce those laws on those people and do something about it.
Yeah. I mean, what is, it's getting worse and worse. So what is that instilling in people? What is that teaching people? That it's just okay to go in a store and steal shit that doesn't belong to you?
Because you're not going to get in trouble.
Yeah. So, I don't know.
Like 1984, that's why they had to live above the ground,
Yeah. So is the people that own a mom and pop store, if they defend their store and defend their merchandise, are they wrong?
They'll be murderers, probably.
Yeah. I mean, they'll be the ones that get in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
And that's bullshit. complete.
Lots of hypocrisy and stuff going on out here. It's just sad.
Yeah, like Debbie said, there's some crazy ass people in Florida, but yeah, we don't pull that kind of stuff here. And yeah, Debbie's right. You know, there's a lot of people that have guns here. So, you know, it makes people, it still happens, you know, there's still people that, you know, come in and, you know, rob people, but it makes a lot of people think twice before they do it, because especially here in Florida, your ass might get shot if you come break in somebody's house. There's a very good chance of it. Very good chance of it. And I don't think there's anything wrong with defending your house, your property, your loved ones.
Nothing at all.
I mean, you know, there's people that work hard, you know, for the things that they have. And it's not cool for just somebody to think they can just come in and take it and be okay with that.
Or
know?
possibly walk in, interrupt a burglary. They don't know someone's home and then gets shot, you know.
Yep.
Your family member could be shot for being at home at the wrong time.
I remember a story. It came out, I don't know, like a year or so ago. There was a guy an old guy, lived by himself, and he had been robbed several times. People kept, you know, breaking in his house and stealing stuff. And these teenage, I think there was 3 of them. They broke in his house one night, and he never got out of his chair. He was sitting in his recliner with a shotgun and waited till they came in the house and blew their asses away, you know? And then there was the big stink of, you know, well, he shouldn't have killed them. Well, no, they shouldn't have broken his damn house. I mean, common sense, man. You know, the door's locked for a reason. There's not
victimize the victim.
Yeah, there's not a sign on his door that says, come in and take what you want. My shit's for free. It's for everybody. You know, no.
Free for all.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Yeah, California's lost their damn minds. Y'all do have some crazy stuff. Florida's crazy. There's no doubt about it.
It's a different kind of crazy. Like, they're both crazy in different ways.
Yeah. I mean, even the crazy people know that there's consequences here.
You guys have for like things like murder, aren't you guys death penalty or life without parole?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly, Royal. I mean, even the street I live on here right now, I kind of live in the hood, and there's been some, you know, I hear gunshots here all the time, but majority of people know not to come down this street because damn near everybody on my street, not that my street's a big one, but pretty much everybody that lives on it is packing. There's ex-police, ex-military, pretty much everybody.
Nice that you have people like that around too.
Yeah. I kind of worry about 1 or 2 of them. It's one of my neighbors that he probably shouldn't have a gun.
Oh.
But you know, he does.
Well,
like, yeah, if they come out and they running away, I'm gonna shoot their ass. I'm like, well, you probably shouldn't shoot them if they're running away. You should probably shoot them.
No, that's usually when you retreat. Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna shoot them when they're coming in, not when they're running out.
Exactly.
Well, I did this picture and it didn't really come out the greatest. This was interesting. This happened a while back. It kind of fits into the missing people category. Although she's not missing, she very well could have been. This is just one of those weird circumstances. It's hard to read. because it's black on black. But 17-year-old girl survives a plane crash in 1971, and this is her now. Um, she was 17 years old when this happened in 1971, and Julianne Kopek, born October 10th, 1954, also known by her married name Julianne Diller, is a German Peruvian mammologist. As a teenager in 1971, Kochek, I don't know if I'm pronouncing her name right or not, she was the sole survivor of Lanza Flight 508, a plane crash. She survived 11 days alone in the Amazon rainforest. And I looked this up. I read a little short article and I'm like, is this real? And I looked it up and apparently it's real. She survived a fall of 3,000 meters, 9,843 feet, still strapped into her seat. Julianne had two big survival stories to tell by the end of her ordeal. On Christmas Eve, 1971, she was on a flight, Lanza Flight 508. She was about to graduate from high school. Her mother, Maria, had wanted to return to Penguana with her daughter on the 19th or 20th of December of 71. But Julianne wished to attend her graduation ceremony in Lima on the 23rd of December. Maria agreed for her to stay longer, and instead they scheduled a flight on Christmas Eve. All flights were booked, aside from one with Linus and Arias. I don't know. Lanza is the name of the aircraft, the company. Her father, Hans Willem, urged his wife to avoid flying with the airline, which had a poor reputation. They booked the flight anyways, and during the flight, the plane was struck by lightning. The plane began to disintegrate in midair and plummeted to the ground. Julianne found herself still strapped in her seat, falling nearly 2 miles into the Peruvian rainforest. In Julianne's case, experts point to the fact that she was harnessed in her plane seat during the descent, resulting in her survival. Though not without breaking her collarbone, she was the only survivor of this flight. She spent most of her 11 days in the rainforest making her way through the water. While in the jungle, she dealt with several insect bites and a maggot infestation in her wounded arm. But after 9 days, she was able to find an encampment. She gave herself some rudimentary first aid, including pouring gasoline on the maggot infestation in her arm. The maggots vacated the wound to escape the gasoline. A few hours later, lumber workers found her, giving her first aid and taking her to a more inhabited area where she was airlifted to a hospital. After recovering from her injuries, she assisted search parties in locating the crash site and recovering the bodies of most all the other victims. Her mother's body was discovered on January 12th, 1972. Julianne moved back to Germany and fully recovered from her wounds. Like her parents, Julianne earned a degree in biology and returned to Peru to do extensive research on bats. Her double survival story has been the subject of books and films, including her own autobiography, When I Fell from the Sky, and a documentary by director Werner Herzog called Wings of Hope. Herzog was interested in telling her story because of a personal connection. He was slated to be on her flight in 1971, but a last-minute change of plans spared him from being on this exact plane. It's weird how those things kind of work out for some people. But yeah, she fell almost 10,000 feet strapped in an airliner seat and managed. That's a hell of a story. Not only to fall almost 10,000 feet out of the sky strapped to a chair, but then to be in the Peruvian rainforest and survive having your ass handed to you for another 11 days on your own. It's a hell of a tough lady right there. But yeah,
I give her.
That could be another stem of how people disappear, you know. She was on this flight and we haven't found her. Well, you know, this girl got sucked out of a plane, strapped to her seat, and landed in the Peruvian rainforest. Luckily, she survived, I guess. I don't know. It's a hell of a story to tell your kids later on.
Yeah, it is.
I fell down and hurt my arm, Mom. Ah, you wimp. I fell 10,000 feet strapped to a chair and I survived. Quit your whining, kid.
Into a proverbial flute band.
Yeah.
That's Cartman. That's South Park. Okay, so the next one. I didn't even know how I was going to lead with this. I'm just going to. The UK Prime Minister Johnson worried about his dog's romantic urges in Downing Street. So this is the Prime Minister.
There he is.
British Prime Minister. Remember Saturday Night Live? Yeah. Mr. Prime Minister. Boris Johnson said on Tuesday that his dog Dylan had romantic urges and was endlessly at people's legs in Downing Street. Johnson and Carrie Simmons revealed in 2019 that they had adopted a rescue black Russell Cross puppy named Dylan. Do you have to worry about his romantic urges? Johnson had asked a police dog handler with a dog. The handler replied, "No, not so much. No." No? Well, our dog, my dog, is endlessly at people's legs, Johnson said, as Interior Minister Patel chuckled. During the inspection of the police dogs, Johnson praised the dogs. They do inspire a certain kind of awe, don't they, on the streets? Johnson said. You know, if you were a miscreant, I don't know what the word, you wouldn't want them biting you on the seat of your pants. He praised the teeth of the dogs. And those teeth look pretty good for when, as the Prime Minister said, you need to go after someone and nibble, Patel said with a smile. So I don't know what all that was about, but that was a strange conversation between him and a street officer wanting to compare their dog's romantic urges.
He's like, "Hey, my dog's horny. He wants to hump your leg. Sorry, man. I can't control him sometimes." He's a horny little bastard.
It just makes me laugh that, this is in the news, like with everything going on. Yeah. This comes up and he's worried about dogs humping legs.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. He looks kind of goofy, I got to say.
You know, when people sometimes have pets that look like their dogs? I mean, like how... when people owners start to look like their animals, or like they get a pet that resembles what they look like.
He does kind of look like his dog. Like there's the dog's face, hey, and there's his face.
The hair.
Yeah. Does kind of resemble his dog.
I wonder if he... No.
I wonder if he humps legs, yeah. What's he looking at? He's like, ooh, there's a nice leg over there. Yep. I've humped a few legs too, I'll admit.
I'm just going to leave it at that.
So, St. Augustine, this was, I was looking for some strange news about St. Augustine, and I didn't find a whole heck of a lot, but I did find this one. It's a real short one. St. Augustine, it's a nice tourist town. What do they say? It's a quaint fishing town with a drinking problem or something like that. It's a tourist town. You don't see, like, when there was the drive-by, the guns are blaring out in my street out here a couple of weeks ago. You don't see that kind of stuff in the news. You rarely see, like, when they find a body in the retention pond, it's like a blip on the news. You don't really see it because it's a tourist town. They don't want they don't want to freak the tourists out. Well, this one kind of includes some tourists in it. So there was a mention of this one today. This happened today, actually. We have trolley trains here, like they're trolley trains, tourist trains. This was a smaller one, but we have some big ones. And I don't know, it was probably 6 months ago. One of them overturned. It was full of people and it overturned. Right now, they're having the Nights of Lights where all of downtown St. Augustine is lit up with thousands of lights, and they're advertising it all over the world. Basically, people are coming here from all over the world. Downtown is a complete cluster. It's a nightmare down there. And
don't
then
they do it across your bridge too, like the Bridge Alliance?
Yeah, the bridge, all of down, everywhere is lit up, and it is cool looking. Thank God I was supposed to be playing at the Milltop, which is in the heart of downtown St. Augustine on the Bayfront, this weekend, and we opted to let those gigs go because playing downtown is a nightmare if you're in a band, just trying to find a parking place, and then you got to huck your gear halfway across town to get to the venue. It's a nightmare. And then when you include Nights of Lights traffic, and then when you include, they still have horse and carriages here. So those are in a giant cluster bomb of traffic, and the horse is like, moving like
just taking their time, stopping to crap.
Yeah, backing up traffic for miles, which is already backed up for miles. The other night when I played, we played at a new venue for us. I mean, I've played there before, but it's renamed now. And I got there at 3:00 in the afternoon. Traffic was backed up for like a mile, 2 miles. The whole entire gig. We played from 4:30 to 8:30. Traffic was backed up the entire time. It was just people were out in the street like watching us play. We were out on the patio. People were like beeping the horn and yelling at us and stuff. It was crazy. So back to what happened today. One of the trolley trains happened to burst into flames. But everyone was safe. Nobody was hurt. They all got off the little trolley train here. But yeah, this is the second trolley train in the past 6 months that has had issues. The other one, this is a really small one. The other ones are way bigger than this.
What were the issues?
Well, the other one, it turned over. They went to turn a corner and somehow like jackknifed and like turned the whole thing over. And that was full with probably, I don't know, 80 people or so. This thing, it only holds maybe 20 people or so in it. But I don't know what caused the fire, but yeah, it burst into flames. The firemen showed up. Everybody was like, holy hell, the car's on fire. They bailed out. Luckily, nobody was hurt. And actually, the last one that turned over, there was nobody seriously hurt. There was a few scuffs and bangs and stuff, but nobody was like seriously hurt.
Good.
But yeah, man, our downtown area is a freaking nightmare with traffic. Like, I don't even want to go down there. If I do, I'm going to like ride my bike or something, because being in a car downtown right now, I used to, when I was driving for Uber, man, it was like you'd get an Uber call and literally the people may only be 6 blocks or 8 blocks away from where you're at. And it would take 45 minutes to an hour to get to them. That's how much traffic was down there.
Dang.
So, yeah. Yeah, there's the old St. Augustine trolley train going up in smoke. Cheech and Chong were driving it today.
Oh, it is close.
They were not on fire. They were just hotboxing in it.
Boop, boop.
Yep.
Okay, so this next one, now this is allegedly, woman allegedly breastfeeds her cat on a Delta Airlines flight. A woman on a recent Delta Airlines flight allegedly began breastfeeding to breastfeed her pet cat mid-flight and refused to stop after getting caught. And my first thought was, how did she have the cat? Is she on a private plane? Like, how did she get to have the cat with her when they usually have to go in cargo, right?
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe she bought the cat a seat. Maybe she snuck it in her purse, hid it in her bra.
And the baby. Okay. Mid-flight refused to stop after getting caught. The incident allegedly happened during a recent trip on board Delta Flight 1360, a route that travels between Syracuse, New York, and Atlanta. An image posted to social media suggests that the perpetrated cat breastfeeding happened. That wasn't the right word. While the plane was headed towards Atlanta, although it's not clear exactly when the incident happened. The image circulating online describes the supposed event, in which appears to be a screen capture of message sent using the aircraft communications addressing and reporting systems ACARS, which pilots use to transmit short text-based messages to the ground. The message reports that a passenger is seat 13A is breastfeeding. So the message says, a passenger in seat 13A is breastfeeding a cat and will not put the cat back in a carrier in response to a request from a flight attendant. I'm reading stuff here as we go. The message asks that the situation be addressed by the airline's Red Coat team upon landing. Delta describes members of the team as elite airport customer service experts who are specially trained to handle the on-the-stop customer issues. Beyond the message, which Newsweek had not independently verified, little other information about the supposed incident was available as of Friday. However, a TikTok account from flight attendant Ainsley Elizabeth appears to refer to the incident with a video posted on November 2nd, claiming that security met the flight because a woman was breastfeeding her cat. This woman had one of those, like, hairless cats swaddled up in a blanket so it looked like a baby, Elizabeth said in a follow-up video posted on November 13. Her shirt was up, and she was trying to get the cat to latch, and she wouldn't put the cat back in the carrier. And the cat was screaming for its life. What does she do at home if she's doing that in public? She asked. And then security met the flight just to tell her she couldn't do that again because it was weird and gross. So a lot of alleged, this and that. Didn't verify it.
Wow.
Didn't get a picture.
Like Debbie said, that has to be rough on the old nips. Cats' tongues are pretty scratchy.
And yeah, they've got little needle teeth.
Yeah. Ouch.
I do know lately, though, there's been a lot in the news regarding pets and their accommodations while being flown, and people who actually work down the cargo saying, like, if you really loved your animal, you would not ship them this way because it's horrible. And people are realizing what it's like where the animals go, the temperatures change, the altitude changes. A lot of animals, pass.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if maybe that's why she got to have it with her if this happened.
Yeah, that's strange.
She said catnip.
I
Breer.
now got that. I was a little slow on that one.
You're not going to get a cat to latch.
Yeah, how does she even, I don't know. There's a lot of questions to be answered on that one.
I'm like, where's, yeah. Do you still, have a kid? Where's the kid? Did it dry up? Why can't you just put it in a little, like, syringe like that cat had?
Yeah.
Like, why?
Yeah. I don't know. Flying takes on a whole new meaning nowadays. I was going to try to, over Thanksgiving, we were thinking about going to Michigan to go to my friend's Reptarium up there because they had plane flights round trip for $49.
Shit, no.
Yeah, that's cheap. Would had to rent a car when I got there, which not that big a deal. But yeah, $49.
Oh, wow.
But
Is that the ones too, though, that you then have like a special cost for each like lug? Like every other fee is like separate.
yeah, you're allowed
Yeah.
to take like one bag, and
hmm
anything else is like probably another $50, another $50,
That
another $50. But hey, just take
that's how that one was when I was going to go to Florida. It was like down the garage parking. Everything had a fee on it,
Yep. But there
so
is,
it came out.
I think it's Freedom Airlines. They fly out of St. Augustine right here now from the airport here, and you can get like pretty cheap flights. I know there was a thing we were talking about. They used to fly out of here and then they quit and now they're back. But when they were flying out here the first time, we were all talking about some paranormal thing meeting up in Chicago, and they had round trip tickets to Chicago for $49. I'm like, hell yeah. $49. I'm not a huge fan of flying, but if it's $49 versus driving for 16 hours, I'm $49 and flying in a plane all day long. I've driven out to California and I've driven to Vegas several times, and I've flown several times. Yeah. 4 hours in a plane versus 2 days in a car. I'm all over that. It was cool driving because I did get to see the countryside. But man, it's the only time I've seen snow is when I drove to Vegas and we drove through Flagstaff, Arizona. And I woke up and I was like, holy shit, there's snow. There's snow everywhere. Didn't get out of the car, didn't stop. I just saw it. And then it was gone. And we were like in the flatlands of New Mexico or somewhere. I did wake up early one morning on the way home. What's that part of New Mexico where they have all the hot air balloon festivals? Albuquerque. Woke up at like 6 in the morning in the car, and it was the coolest sight ever because the whole, like as far as I could see, was all hot air balloons, and the sun was coming up. It was pretty awesome. I took some pictures of that. We did stop for that for a few minutes. Being a flatlander Florida boy, that's something you don't see too often. Say David's got a story. Where is it at? Where is it at? That's not it. Did I
I
lose you?
think
Oh, there you
I
are.
was talking to you and I was muted.
Yeah, I was like, man, you got quiet all of a sudden.
And what'd you say again?
I have no idea.
I was answering Lori back. Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know, but I've been told the green grasshopper's got a red butthole. Something like that.
I always was told that Eskimo was mighty cold. Full Metal Jacket.
Yep, that's for sure. Well, you could come over and boink my sister. Got the phone line open.
In your footlocker pile. I thought we were going to do it when we're done with the articles.
You got any more?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was trying to figure out, if you still had one or...
Nope, I'm done.
Okay, I still have...
Oh, yeah, you got a couple more. Sorry.
2. One is very short, and it's just funny because at first I thought it was a balloon hanging there. It's not a balloon. It's the Jaguars mascot.
I was going to say, this is kind of like Florida Man's story in a way. And I totally missed this one.
Have you?
I totally missed it until I saw you with it today.
So when I first saw this, I'm like, what is that? Like a balloon? I didn't know what happened. So their mascot bungee jumps into, the game. And I guess his bungee got stuck on something. So it took quite a while to get him down.
That's Jackson DeVille is his name.
Yes, the Jackson DeVille continues to risk it all this season with a thrilling bungee jumping backflip before kickoff. But on Sunday, the Darren Cat had to be bailed out after his cord got stuck in the air. Video from Sunday's game against the Atlanta Falcons showed the mascot starting off with a perfect backflip, only to stop abruptly the way down. Users on social media posted videos of the mascot being lowered into the stands among fans unharmed. The stunt may have been an omen for Sunday's game, as the Jags lost their 9th game of the season with a 21-14 final score. So this is, him hanging there. There was like a little video showing the backflip, but if you're not able to pull that up,
I have
just
it.
Imagine he's jumping and flipping. That's all there was to that one.
Here it is. Yeah, he's up on the old podium doing his thing, being all goofy and does the old backflip. And he's supposed to bungee on down, but all of a sudden he's looking up going, what's up? What's wrong? But he just spent some time hanging there.
Yep.
I've seen Will do some crazy things there. I used to go to all the Jaguars games. I used to have season tickets.
Oh, yeah? I used to like them a long time ago. My ex didn't like that, but I liked the Jags.
They suck now.
No. Wait. Toronto, the Titans. Those other one with the blue helmet. It was the Titans. They just look like the Jag colors.
Yeah, the Jags used to be really good. They were on fire for a while, but God, the last several years, they're like rated like one of the worst teams. I don't think they are the worst team. I think they're circling the drain one above the worst team. But yeah, like Debbie says, they do suck now. I quit. Once the whole NFL and the whole kneeling thing and all that crap and just these guys making millions of dollars and bitching about this. And I don't even watch NFL anymore. I don't even I just disowned all of it.
And then the last one, and this one I just thought was cool because we talk about destruction at cemeteries and the vandalism, everything like that. So this has a cool story, like a cool ending to it. The cemetery's statue's missing head returned after more than 2 decades.
Wow.
November 19th, the head of an Italian marble statue in a New Brunswick cemetery was left next to the monument more than 2 decades after it was stolen. Janine Stevens died at age 15 in 1900, and her mother had an Italian marble statue erected in honor at her family's plot in Grays Island Cemetery in Hillsborough, 1930. The statue is subject to numerous acts of vandalism in the ensuing decades, and in the 1990s, the head disappeared, family members said. It reminds me of The Simpsons. Was it Jeremiah?
Yeah.
Kathleen Wallace, whose father was the nephew of Steve's mother, said the statue had been the subject of local superstitions. There were all kinds of stories told about the monument, that it was haunted, that the eyes had rubies in them, but none of that is true. That's why they took the head. None of that was true. It was just put there for the family plot and especially in memory of Jenny. Wallace said she and her sister filed police reports and offered rewards for the head's return when it was taken in the 90s, but the disappearance remained a mystery. Wallace said she was shocked when she saw a recent Facebook photo of the statue. It showed the statue with the head beside it, that the head had been returned, she said. The cemetery's keeper brought the head to Wallace's home for safekeeping. Wallace and her sister Patricia said a relative of the person who created the statue had offered to restore it to the original condition. We are so happy to have the head back. The sisters said they do not have any clues about where the head has been for the past 2 decades. It was really kind of a miracle, Kathleen said. It remains a mystery. Somebody maybe had a guilty conscience. But regardless, somebody did the right thing and returned it. Thank you. Or a parent found it. Your kids saw it. You better go put that back.
Yeah. That's bad mojo.
Or they were having like bad luck and maybe they're like, oh, it's the statue head. We're going to put it back. So now David wants to call in and tell us his story. I would love to hear it.
I was trying to get my ghosty box up here.
Why can we leave our phones on after takeoff now? That's weird. A story about something from the San Diego news that he heard today. And the call-in line is scrolling across the bottom there. Of course, my number looks up.
There it is.
Hi.
So, got the spirit box running. Is there anyone here that wants to talk tonight? Anybody have any messages for anyone in the chat room? A few people were interested. Just say my name.
I don't know if it said Paul or Rob. I'm not sure. I heard fire or butter. Hello, spirits. If you guys want to communicate, you can talk to us through Rob's equipment on his side.
Social. Yep, you're on social media. Any messages for Debbie or Zariana? Listen.
Is there something in the air making the animals act extra crazy the past 3 days? Do you know why the animals are acting weird? Christina's animals are acting the same as what I was telling you, Rob.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I hadn't even told her about that. And the same couple of days, feeling the same thing, that the animals are acting weird, like something.
And my dog was acting pretty weird last night, actually, too.
Is he eating more than normal?
She's drinking like crazy.
It's been like 3 or 4 days, like really crazy. Oh, I just missed that question that you had up. Asking if some spirits made it to heaven. Oh, Marie would like to know, did the 2 spirits that she spoke to at St. Ignatius Hospital make it to heaven?
I want to say it a minute ago. I heard it was Zariana's name.
Oh, yeah?
So people heard.
I thought they said Ellen for a second when I was writing to Evelyn, because she said, hello, spirits, any message? I don't know what they just said. Do you want to ask if there's any messages for Evelyn? In case they can't hear me right now.
Are there any messages for Evelyn? Did you say something for Zariana just a minute ago?
Oh, Debbie heard Evelyn. Royal heard I made it. I wonder if that
Yeah, a few people heard that.
had to do with the heaven.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I read, I don't hear it.
Did you make it to heaven? Is that what you were saying?
If he said, "Where's Zach?" Zach's not here tonight.
I've got my SB7 in the other room, and it doesn't have batteries in it. I was going to use this one, but the batteries are dead in it as well. Have to maybe try this next week. Try a couple radios. Haven't used those in a while.
Yeah. I need to start getting my stuff busted out again.
Yeah, I remember I was using this radio one night, little Memorex. I was on a tour. I was helping my friend Heather with a tour, and we were using the radio. She was asking questions, and the radio was like, "You bitch," and then it threw the C word out at her. I was like, "That's definitely not on the radio."
Not FCC approved.
No. And it was nice and clear too. Everybody that was sitting at the table was like, I looked at Heather, she looked at me, I was like, tends to happen with my ghost boxes.
Yes. Wait. Yeah. Right.
So Marie's computer's acting crazy right now, and Royal's lamp on his desk is flickering. Ask us anything.
Anything.
Difference between smoke and what?
No.
Smoking vape.
It's not.
Back.
She said, "Buy a new one."
Yeah.
Action. Chicken. Hey.
I'm sorry. Why? May. Please.
I sound like Jesus something bullshit.
Alex. One.
You did hear vape. I thought, I wasn't sure.
Yes.
I keep hitting my microphone. I'm playing with my hair.
Sass.
Sass.
Yeah.
Sassy. Keep it sassy but classy. Is he saying Jason?
That's kind of what it sounded like, didn't it?
Yeah, that's what Royal said too.
Relax.
I hear relax and something like need to rest. Are they talking about Jason?
He would. Oh, yes.
Yeah. Speaking of the cussing ghost box, I don't know if y'all had remembered seeing one of the videos from the house I grew up in. I did like 4 or 5 parts in that house
No.
where I was just going in by myself and running different ghost boxes each time. And this is, I never had anything really bad. I mean, I had a lot of crazy stuff happen in this house, but I never had anything really bad or menacing really happen. Well, I don't know. Maybe I did. But this particular ghost box session, when I talk about my ghost box is cussing at me, I'll play just a couple minutes of this one. This is, halfway in the session. I got really. I got really agitated.
Keep on following me?
baby. I'll come back over here and talk to you again, but you ain't gonna follow me home. Here's where it got weird. Been a lot of empty, lonely, dark nights over here for the last, I don't know how many years. That's your fault. What? Starting to get a little riled up now. I know you guys aren't mean, or you would have hurt me a long time ago. What the fuck? What the fuck? Is that what he said? I think that's where my ghost box blipped out. My computer started going crazy. Got awful quiet. There you go. I fired up the Vocabus again with the image burst on, so you can try and put some images on that screen. Yeah.
You say it's a girlfriend?
It said check your heart, and then it said Vocabus, which is the app that's running. Say Vocabus. That was pretty cool. Yeah, they started
Did
letting
she
me
just say Vocabus?
Nah, she said mother. It was weird though, because there were several times like it just said check your heart, and this is the house that my dad died in from a heart attack in the attic, and it says check your heart, and it says somewhere in here I asked something, and it says something about a coronary. But anyways, our time's up. Yeah, this session that I did in that old house, it got a little weird. I was sitting right by the fireplace. I was in there by myself. You know, they always say don't go do investigations by yourself. It started freaking me out when it started talking about heart attacks and coronaries and check your heart and all that. I'm like, yeah, maybe I should get the hell out of here. Yeah, that was the house I grew up in there, Ariana. That place, I would definitely, without a doubt, say it was haunted, and I'm sure it still is. But that's going to wrap us up. Maybe I'll come back and try to talk to you guys some more soon. If you came through, thank you very much. If not, maybe we'll catch you next time. I'll definitely be back for more. You guys all chat here anytime. I'll come back, bring all my people. Try to talk again. But for now, I'm going to close this session completely. Y'all need to go back to where you have a good evening. Don't follow me home is what I was getting to. We'll talk to you again soon. Thanks for chatting. Murder. Yeah, that session got weird.
That was weird.
Yeah, I'd never heard, that rift it's a weird ghost box. It definitely has some keywords in it. But yeah, I'd never heard it throw out the MFer and asshole and everything else. It was throwing them all out that night.
And you get a cuss, and you get a cuss, and you get a cuss.
Yeah. I was like, okay, they're cussing at me and they're talking about heart problems. I think I'm going to leave now.
This is my cue.
Yeah. Yeah, they're right at the very end. I think it was like, it even says, enough, stop.
Oh.
Like, okay. 10-4, buddy.
Yeah. Signing out.
Yeah. So anyways, that wraps us up. It's after 2. And yeah, don't go ghost hunting by yourself. It's not highly advised. But it is
I
fun.
do it all the time. It's a lot of fun.
So do I. Do as I say, not as I do, right?
It's easier to debunk things and know who did what, didn't do what, when it's just you.
The only downside is when something really cool happens, it's just you, and you like tell everybody, and they're like, "Oh yeah, sure." You don't have witnesses.
Yeah, I like the experiences. I don't need witnesses.
Yep, exactly. Cool. Well,
thank you, everybody. It was awesome being back together again. We missed you guys.
It'll be Sundays coming around. Jason just posted this thing for Paranormal Soup. I'm not sure who's on there, but if you go look, it'll tell you. Maybe Jamie knows. I don't know. I don't have a clue.
I haven't posted it yet because I was going to post it after this was over.
Yep. So maybe we'll see y'all Sunday night. Maybe we won't. Maybe we'll see you next Wednesday when we'll be back for another Weird Wednesday. Good night. Have a great rest of the week. And stay weird. Bye-bye.